Hello YouTube. All right, we're gonna do a little revisionist history here. We're gonna talk about refinishing these American Racing Vector wheels. This is known as a Turbine wheel. These were super popular back, I think, the late 70s and into the 80s. Really cool, iconic style. They're from the General Lee. These are actually a GM bolt pattern. The Chrysler ones from the General Lee are a different bolt pattern. That makes these pretty rare. So in a previous video, I did a restoration video and I showed how I painted these. Back then, my theory was I was using masking tape, and I put masking tape all the way around. I put it on all the spokes. Then I used a razor blade and I just traced along the edges and I cut it off. So then I had blue masking tape everywhere. I spray painted the wheel, took it off. It was okay. If you really zoomed in, you looked really close, you could see that there was jagged edges. The razor blade, that it wasn't really smooth. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna show you a little bit. All right, so when you're running the edge of the razor blade along these edges, it turns out that it's not perfectly smooth, and the razor blade would hang up. And when I peeled the tape off, I ended up with not very crisp edges, and I lived with that for a couple years. It was okay, but it wasn't good enough for my standard. So what I ended up doing, I did things a little bit differently. So what I did, I was gonna try something different. I started doing a little bit of research. I read about using chapstick, putting chapstick on the part you don't want painted, and then painting it and wiping the chapstick off. I tried that. It didn't really work. I read about just wiping it off. So I tried that, and I ended up, it worked really well. So I took the wheels off. I did all 4 wheels in one day. I sprayed them down, cleaned them off, spray painted them, put a nice new coat on. I had the entire wheel painted, so it was everywhere, the spokes, everything was painted. And then all I did is I sat in the garage. It was a hot day. I remember it had to be like 80 degrees. I was sweating and my hands got really sore. But all I did, I used acetone, blue paper towel, folded up the blue paper towel to little squares, just no bigger than my finger. And I would just rub it. And I'd rub along the spokes. Yeah, so like rub a spoke, rub around the ring here, rub around the outside edge. And it was just enough that it took the paint off. Now I'd have to get it wet and rub it and get it wet and rub it. But it took the paint off so that it was nice and crisp. And it made it way crisper than I could ever have gotten with the masking tape and with the razor blade, the way I did it the first time. So I'm keeping that old video up just in case it gives anybody any ideas, if there's any tips in there. But truthfully, for painted wheels now with spokes like this, and I want to get some of the paint off but have nice crisp edges, acetone and scrubbing it off, it worked 100% better. It took less, well, I wouldn't say it took less time, because it took some time to mask up and cut with the razor blade and all that. It might have taken a little bit longer actually to sit here and rub it, but less prep time anyway. And then it was pretty mindless to sit here. I played some music and just rub that paint off, and it came out real nice and real crisp. I'll turn the camera around and show you one more time how good it looks. So again, this was the final result. Nice, clean, crisp lines. Real nice paint job, just from using the acetone and the blue paper towels. All right, that was a real quick, simple video. Just wanted to kind of show you the truth about how I redid the wheels and how much happier I am with the way they turned out. So again, as always, if you like to comment, please like, comment, subscribe. Sure appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.